Hello and welcome back to the Nitro Type Speed Tournament. Today's video we have Bracket A, Internet Typer versus Abluxion. You can see that here starting off, this is a pretty medium difficulty text I'd say, is that we all start off at the 120 zone. Nitroing availabilities you can see there, as they go up to the 130 zone, as you can see here. Internet Typer and Abluxion going back and forth as they both go into the 140s. As Internet Typer takes a clear, strong lead going into the 150 zone as Abluxion falls behind into the 140s. Internet Typer stutters a little bit near the end there, finishes off in the 150 zone as Abluxion falls behind in the 140s. Internet Typer wins with a 158 and Abluxion gets a 145. The first round goes to Internet Typer. Now, Internet Typer is a high tier 2 and Abluxion is a low tier 1, so this should be a clean sweep for Abluxion, but you never know what can happen as we get a Wampus, as you can see here, so a little pressure. Competitors start off into the 140 zone, start falling behind a little bit. I myself are going pretty fast as they're going into the 150 zone along with me. They then take a clear steam ahead into the 160 zone, as you can see here, as they start falling behind. Internet Typer take a clear lead into the 160 zone as Abluxion falls behind into the 150s, finishing the race. Internet Typer takes the lead with a 164 as Abluxion gets a 156. The second round goes to Internet Typer. On to the third round. This is a pretty easy text I'd say, so hopefully we get a good competition out of our competitors. Not a strong start, all of us going 120. As you can see here, Internet Typer starts picking up the pace going into the 140 zone. Abluxion falls behind a bit actually going into the 120s. But he's able to nitro and he's able to get his steam back. Internet Typer uses his nitro and takes a clear lead ahead into the 150s. Abluxion falls behind, catching up into the 140 zone just in time. Internet Typer takes the third round with a 155 and Abluxion with a 146. On to the fourth round. Abluxion needs a comeback here if he wants a chance of winning. This is a pretty medium-sized text, I'd say. The beginning part's pretty good, but only if you get it right though. Abluxion takes a clear lead, as you can see here, going into the 150 zone as Internet Typer catches up into the 150 zone as well. Abluxion uses his nitro pretty strategically here. And Abluxion takes the firm lead into the 160s as Internet Typer tries to catch up, but is not able to make it in time. Abluxion wins with a 164 as Internet Typer gets a 159, winning the fourth round. Abluxion. On to the fifth round. It was a pretty close round last time, but Abluxion was just able to get a point on the board. I Nitro Firefighter as well as Internet Typer, I believe. Internet Typer into the 140 zone as Abluxion falls behind into the 120s. Internet Typer goes into the 150 zone, taking a commanding lead of this race as he finishes off in the 150s. Internet Typer wins the 160 and Abluxion gets a 140, meaning the score is 4-1. Abluxion wants a chance at continuing on to this tournament. He needs to win this round or it is all over for him. The start for this text is very good, very burstable segments as you can see here, as all of our competitors go into the 140 zone. Internet Typer able to nitro, able to keep a good lead. Oh, but Abluxion is able to take it over and go into the 160s. Internet Typer falling behind, as you can see here, he's in the 120, going up to the 130 zone. Abluxion taking a commanding lead. Abluxion went 152, and Internet Typer did a 146, meaning Abluxion has gotten his second point on the board. On to the seventh round. This text is pretty difficult, I'd say, but you can see our competitors. Internet Typer going into the 130 zone. Abluxion able to take a commanding lead into the 160s, using his nitro pretty strategically. This round is definitely going to Abluxion as he bursts. And we shall see what he's able to get at the end. Internet Typer going up to the 140 zone. Abluxion with a 169 as Internet Typer gets a 147. Score is 4-3 in Internet Typer's favor, so anybody's game. Like I said, Abluxion needs these points or he will be out. I'd say this is a pretty difficult text. Definitely not one of the most difficult, but pretty difficult. You can see here, Abluxion and Internet Typer neck and neck, as you can see, but Abluxion is able to take a good commanding lead here into the 150 zone, I believe. Abluxion with a 155, Internet Typer with a 145, which means the score is 4-4. And this is the final round. Anybody can win here. This is a very close matchup. This is very surprising as Internet Typer has not played in months, but Abluxion is also pretty washed, it seems. This is a pretty medium to hard difficulty text, so we'll see what happens here. Abluxion going into the 120 zone, and Internet Typer fumbling very, very bad, going into the 70s as he must have just completely fried his fingers at the start. Abluxion going deep into the 160 zone, almost into the 170 zone as he finishes off with a crazy burst, and he finishes the 9th round as the victor. Internet Typer just could not keep up and must have fumbled at the very start. A very close round, surprisingly, given the tier difference between the two. Internet Typer doing very strong at the start, but Abluxion was able to come back and win the first round of the bracket. That concludes the second video in the competition, and we shall see who goes up next.